good morning, and welcome to the Funkable Operator Podcast. This is Jay Funkadelic talking to y'all. How's everybody doing? You had a good Thanksgiving? Well, I did too. The only way what I do in my life is get along with people, trying to make sure that everything can be okay. You know, the situation with the rappers and the sports, the football teams. The Cowboys beat the Chiefs. The Cowboys beat the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, and the Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions. I was really enjoying watching football yesterday afternoon when I was at my mom's house. And I felt very good about watching football because I'm really getting into sports. Just like I'm betting horse races, the giddy apps, and, you know, all types of things that I really recommended for my own self. What would I would do to get myself like a good type of thing that I like really representing for the situation, for me going on, and from the fact that I like spitting bars. How do you feel about the Puff Daddy situation? He's doing 4 years in prison, and thinking about all the drama that he's been doing when he assaulted Cassie and beat her up, and, you know, doing 4 years in jail, and he's committed to a crime that he really committed, and saying he was no good. There was somebody on Instagram throwing his CDs away. I still have his picture. I'm not getting rid of it. So what I would do is talk to people about, you know, how my day was and really getting it in. Show you how my stuff can get really done for the situation. What I ever been from somewhere and getting where the hell I gotta go. You know, sometimes people could be a little aggravated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was eating the turkey. The turkey came out very good. Ate the stuffing, ate the candy yams, ate the cranberry sauce. And, you know, the time that I was enjoying myself yesterday with my nephews, my nieces, my brother-in-law, my mother, my father, my sister-in-law. And I really had a good time with the people yesterday because I didn't feel like being left out in the cold, not going to Thanksgiving and being at my mom's house. But, you know, like next month, for Christmas time, I'm probably going to be with my sister eventually. You know, the situation with myself could really never put me in a daze or do some stupid stuff and, you know, mess your mind with a lot of effed up situations. How I really recommended it. Can't even curse on this podcast. You know, people are watching. People are just you know, when I curse, it's like I'm trying to keep everything clean and making sure that people can understand me. This is my own podcast that I really love talking about. I talk about reality life and all this, you know, drama with the news, with the broadcasts, you know, taking it back to Hugh Butel and Roger Grimsby. That was one of my favorite news anchors that my father used to see when he used to work on ABC7. Seeing Regis Philbin come to the building every single day. And, you know, I am live from Met Fresh, okay? The Funkable Operator Podcast is sponsored by the Funk Fillers Forever album that I did early this October, you know? And, you know, my situation with myself and I, like the Thanksgiving Day Parade, I went there yesterday. I didn't see Busta Rhymes perform. He was passing by wearing a coat Busta Rhymes didn't perform. I remember back in 2016, they had De La Soul performing at the Thanksgiving Day parade. I didn't know Queen Latifah was there. I know Debbie Gibson was there. Shout out to my homegirl, Debbie Gibson. What I'm really like to do, in my life is getting around celebrities, thinking about how I really recommended what I really say in my own life, thinking that I'm trying to be the best at it, whatever I do when I do studio time, and rhyme about reality and rhyme about the situations where I'm not taking it too far. But, my only hope of hip hop music is the culture, that I'm starting to like really going through the culture and making sure the culture could be corrected. When I really rhyme, it's like a movie, a situation going on with myself, taking advantage of a lot of things, and people will respect me. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are gonna respect me no matter what happens in life. And people are just gonna, I'm not gonna be very sarcastic, but I'm trying to like do what I can in life, making sure that I'm just okay. The people that I love to see in life, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not gonna respect me. A lot of people not gonna respect you. What do you get out of that? Do you think anything could be all right from the situation that I'm going through? If it was yesterday, this is the month of the cold weather. We all know that we have an illness. People get sick. People wind up in the hospital. My thoughts, my condolences go out to my father-in-law, Mark, rest in peace. Mark was a good guy. Now he's back with Rob's Uncle Steve, and my own situation with myself, that I would never back down to nothing, and making sure everything could be okay, for the fact that I'm taking everything real serious in my own life, and what's popping, man. Everything is all right in my own freaking self, thinking that I'm a real man trying to get, my situation taken care of. I know I felt bad because the godson passed away in 2020 of April, and I really reminisced about Fred the Godson. There ain't no rapper better like Fred the Godson, because he had the bars, he had the lyrics, he was spitting like an animal, and I was dancing to his music. He had a lot of good stuff that I was listening to with the brother, and he made hip hop very authentic, the way I heard about him with his brother Fatboy Izzo, his mother Shelly, and his wife Leanne. But I know I felt kind of bad for Fred the Godson's family, that he's no longer with the family anymore, but he still has a brother that they take care of, and people are just gonna like reminisce on Thanksgiving that there are some people that passed away, they're no longer with them, and people are just gonna be like, reminiscing about, you want the brother back, you want the sister back, and you back to have to be invited to the house, but unfortunately they can't be with you because they're dead and gone. A lot of people could rap and be dead and gone. Everybody in life has an expiration date. We don't live forever. Some people live over 100, most people don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people could live to 99 years old, and some people don't really react to that. Even if they live 99, people could die peacefully in their sleep. How would I really recommend it that people could be dying in their sleep when they turn 99 years old? Thinking that that I recommended my own self to be who I can be in life, and choosing my own path to go forward, but not backward. You know what I'm saying? You keep reminiscing about the past. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't forget the memories. You know, you can't forget the memories of life. Knowing about the facts, who I'm really talking about, what I say to people, how I really feel about being emotions, hearing the demons in your head, want to curse them out, and saying some like venting out your anger and talking and never shut up for like a few minutes. You know, there's a lot of problems I've been having in my life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. I was sick. I got into altercation with my family back in the past. I've been having a lot of medication issues. I wanted to just, be getting better, being hospitalized like crazy. And there's a lot of situations with myself don't get no better the way I really see things in life. And, the reality could be a messed up society. You know what I'm saying? I represent my own hip hop environment because the hip hop environment represents me and music loves me because I respect a lot of people that want to hate and don't hate. You know what I'm saying? I give props to a lot of good rappers. I give props to female rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like the Poetry Girl, her birthday was the other day. Shout out to my homegirl, Kim's Good Look Seabrook. She's a beautiful, stunning lady, and I really liked her very much. I liked her like I treat this girl like a queen. I remember taking her to a Jay-Z concert at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Didn't you realize first we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and we went there and we ate and then I took her to the Barclays to see Jay-Z like a couple of years back. We took the subway train, the tube train to Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center. We went there in Brooklyn and we had a nice time. Jay-Z performed and I really liked this, I could be free for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been starting to listen to rap. I really hardly listen to hip hop. I've been knowing about hip hop in the mid '80s, but I wasn't like really getting into it literally. I was like starting to like hip hop because when I was at a camp back in '85, I remember a guy that was rapping in '85, and he was really old school. He probably would have been older than me to understand. It was Rampo Anchorage Camp that I was in back in '85, and this guy was rapping. And when I heard him rap, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something I really want to do. Like, I pointed at him. I'm like, yeah, this guy is like a hip hop god, a mentor, a mentor of what I talk about. My mentor of hip hop was my Uncle Gary. Rest in peace. If it wasn't for Uncle Gary, I would never ever been myself. I would rap. I would never did lyric, nothing like that if it wasn't for my Uncle Gary. Okay, because he really, he got me into hip hop a lot and I learned from him because he was really old school like I was. He's a mentor for what I really think that he was. That was my mom's brother. Rest in power, Uncle Gary. I know he passed away June 2016, 27th, 2016, and he was a very good uncle. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered with him. He was acting drunk, funny, and stupid. My uncle had a lot of issues with himself in life, and then, he would wind up in a diabetic coma, and he passed away in 2016. I could kill the game if I need to kill the game, even if I try. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't want to do it. I would want to, like, get it on. If I want to kill the game, I would try to kill the game if I need to, man. But, it's a lot of work. Because I'm going to perform on stage sometime trying to get it on. making sure everything would be okay in life and not give a damn about nobody else. I want to feel free about talk. You know, if I'm gonna make movies, I would make movies. You know what I'm saying? I like to be in a movie. I like to be in a great movie. I like to be like in a hip hop movie, just like when they had New Line Cinema or Universal or something like that, like watching 8 Mile or The Nutty Professor or the Players Club, the Friday trilogy, and a lot of things that be popping. So what, whatever. This is the way I really recommended my own self from being who I am right now. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my mother and father, I would not be here today. If it wasn't for my mother and father to support me, to do studio time, to go to hip hop events, to meet celebrities, if it wasn't for them, I would never be who I am today. Okay? That's a fact from everybody to understand. There is a business for me to spit some bars for hip hop, going to 2 schools, to be a dope MC, going to pre-K, middle school, and high school, and on my own, living independently, just trying to get things popping to talk about it on the Funkable Operator podcast. The show is very lit, and I understand it's a dope show that I love, like putting people on. And there was a guy that was on social media, Little Mo Mozzarella, and that was one of my brother-in-law's peoples. But I'm kind of older than him, but I like to break his balls. You know what I'm saying? He breaks balls like I break balls, and you did. He sounds like a real this dude. I couldn't even understand that he likes. I'm like, man, he sounds like a real retard, that dude. I can't even understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He talks about he's in the mood for steak. He wants to burn the steak. He wants to eat it like he's going to go to the electric chair. There's a lot of things that people, want to do in life and can't really do it. They don't know how to socialize. Some people don't call me saying I want to be in a movie. They want to pay money to be in a movie. And I don't even have that kind of money to really do it. Even if they charge me or I can get paid to be in a movie, you wouldn't want to ask me if I could be a comedian. And you ask me want to be a comedian, like I could be a comedy rapper. And I did the comedy rap hip hop song back in 2022. The rap song was kind of funny, but I was really entertained to do that record. I like to entertain people. If you give me a stage, a mic, and yeah, I know he's a fake Italian. I could see that. He's a fake Italian, born Jackie Gleason, Tony Soprano, Bra Strat type of situation with him. He hangs out with Gorilla Nems, but Gorilla Nems, he really put me in a day, said the P word to me. I ain't no PUSSY. I remain fly to get high on my own supply. But I'm not going to smoke no weed. I proceed around with the speed and intensity because Gorilla Nems is not my friend, but he's my enemy. He's America's jackass because I spit with the quick fast. Lyrics to last, got rhymes to blast. How many stupid questions you want to ask? Don't try to apprehend me. Don't try to front me and do a dispute because I can get more loot and put your raps on mute. The fire that I'm talking about, what I'm saying, that was like a taste for Gorilla Nems that he called himself America's sweetheart and, doing all this junky BS talk that he be saying, F your life, don't ever disrespect me. And, every time I see Gorilla Nems at an event, I hide myself. I had to stand behind the bushes when I saw him in Harlem, like last summer, and I seen him looking like Brutus from Popeye. You know what I'm saying? When I was playing the Popeye video game, I wanted to beat up Gorilla Nems and look for the hawks and collect all the letters to save olive oil. You know? There's a lot of people just don't really realize how I could get it on. You know, I think Gorilla Nems just treat me like I'm Popeye because Popeye was strong to the finish when he eats his spinach. You know what I'm saying? If I would have eaten a can of spinach or collard greens, I would have beat up Gorilla Nems. I hate that. Like an imagination. It really ain't gonna happen in real life. Maybe I should battle a Gorilla Nems. How would feel about battling Gorilla Nems in a cipher? I would say some Popeye Spanish raps, and he's gonna bully me and saying call me say the P word, the F your life word, and talk a lot of crap about him disrespecting him, hanging up on me on Shade 45, trying to apologize. Saying, yo, I'm going to beat you up. Don't ever disrespect me. And he's out of his mind. He gave me a big slap in the face the time I seen him in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Gave me a big slap in the face. This guy treated me like I was a nobody. But I ain't no nobody. I'm a somebody. You know what I'm saying? Why could he really, talk his stuff and make a butt out of me? Why he would do something like that? Why in the blue hell Gorilla Nems want to say the P word right at me? He's taking shot. He took shots at me. I took shots at him back. I had to fire back. Nems doing that record, America's Jackass. Okay, I had to fire back at him. But it wasn't really a diss record. It was a storyline record at the time. It was a reality record that was rapping about Gorilla Nems. I was mentioning about Gorilla Nems, the way he treated me, and saying all this BS and talking about saying that he's a mayor of Nathan's Hot Dogs. You know what I'm saying? The mayor of Coney Island? I don't think so. Funkadelic don't play that. Sound like a home in the clown, like I played in Living Color or whatnot. All these whack rappers I've been hearing nowadays really suck. He acting like he gangsta, acting like he the mayor of Coney Island. Mayor of what? He should be the mayor of selling hot dogs and French fries. That's what you've been doing. He's a real jerk off, Gorilla Nems. He treated me in Brooklyn like a real jerk off. He made me look like him too. But I know he's American ass, and he's a clown. Gorilla Nems has his own radio show every Wednesday from 7 to 9 on Shade 45. I call him up, he curses me out, and then he hangs up on me for 5-10 seconds. What a goddamn DICK you could ever be. Why would I even do something to him? You know what I'm saying? Not really do anything to him to get locked up and go to jail. But if he wants to call me that word, guess what? I'm trying to battle this dude. I'm trying to breakfast, lunch, and dinner him. If I'm eating I'm battling him like there's a hot dog eating contest, because Gorilla Nems don't respect nobody. He don't do it to me. He does it to a lot of people when he puts his phone out, and he be talking all his crap. He be saying all this type of phony stuff. I told I dissed him. Yeah, I did a record called America's Jackass. That you should hear that on the Funkable Forever album. It's on all platforms. The America's Jackass song that I did is on all platforms. Believe what I'm telling you. Okay, you should listen to that record. Because at the end of the outro to the track, I diss Gorilla Nems at the end of the track. F my life. And I said, don't do that yet, fat F-U-C, you know what. So, this is my own podcast, the Funkable Operator Podcast. And I'm going to chuck y'all in the next one. Peace.